welcome in. Woo! We're so glad that you guys could join us for our post audition stream. I hope for all of you who did audition, it was a good experience. You had some fun, or like you learned a thing or two, hopefully. But yeah, so hi everybody. If you're new here, because I know this is a very niche stream. My name is Jemmy Roca. I am a flower spirit VTuber slash voice actor, and I am the voice of the main character Anna from You're My Oshi. Um, and this is over here. This flower over here is created.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. Yes, I'm created of Telltale. So a little like channel right now called Telltale or Told. And I am the writer director of You're My Oshi.
Yay!
So yes. Woo!
But guys, it's been so fun working with Created. This whole story
Woo!
has been so fun, and the whole production. So if you're a watcher of You're My Oshi, I hope you guys have been enjoying the story so far. We have a lot of things in the works. We're so excited to get episode 3 out
Yeah.
to you guys because it's
Yeah.
yeah, it's so wholesome. But today,
Yeah.
yeah. But today we are talking about your auditions. We won't be specifically reviewing anybody's auditions on this stream, so you won't be hearing anybody. You won't be hearing yourself. I'm sorry if you were looking forward to that. But we are going to be talking about general things that we've noticed, general things that we've learned, even as like casting staff, and maybe some tips that you guys could take to your next auditions and everything, or to the next step if that's the case. So, is there anything you want to add, created?
For this one, just mainly that because it's going to be so general, we hope that you guys get a chance to really learn something very useful because we tried to pack in what we could from this that we think that people might want to know. But if there's anything that we missed, just actually give us we have a Q&A portion at the end where you can actually ask your questions. So uh but it might be a bit info overloady, so if ever it gets a little much, let us know. But save your questions until the end and feel free to take notes or screenshot or whatever helps you.
Mm-hmm.
So there.
This VOD will
There.
also stay up on the You're My Oshi channel. So if you need to reference back to it, or if you remember something later and you just want to get more clarity, make sure to just, it'll always be here. So,
Yeah.
should we get started? I'm trying to remember what the first slide was now.
Yeah.
Oops. So, what are we sharing today? So, what are we looking for anyway? That's what
Yeah.
we're going to start with. We're going to cover some tips based on what we saw in this casting call, from what you guys have submitted, and just things that we noticed along the way, and what we could do better also, in case you guys ever want to start a production and do casting calls and all of that. What did. Oh, wait, yeah, okay, I already just said that. Haha, reading. um,
You're good.
um, and then question and answer at the end. So that'll be when you guys can
Yeah.
submit what questions you would like to get answered specifically. Um, Specifically about voice acting. We won't really be going into detail about what is happening in Your My Oshi. So, no
Yes.
spoilers, sorry,
Yes.
if that's what you were here for.
Yes.
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 Okay, so
Yes.
what are we looking for? What are we looking for? Chat, do you know what we're looking for? We're looking for a lot of things.
Do you know? Do you know?
Do
I
you know?
know.
I know.
I think you know.
I hope I know.
Okay.
A voice
Okay.
actor. Oh my gosh, you're right. We
Yes.
are looking for
You're
voice
right though.
actors. A concept. That's
Right.
crazy. So, what are we.
Okay, so
Yeah.
yeah. So we divided this actually divided this into two parts.
Mm-hmm.
The obvious and the not so obvious, actually. Just to be sure that we actually kind of recapped what was the obvious and the not so obvious. So, what was the first part is the obvious.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
So,
So Jemmy. Yes.
we are looking for the requirements as mentioned on the form. So, all of our guidelines were on this form. So, if you were confused about anything, they were probably in the form. So, just make sure. So, what we were looking for on this form was one, be a member of the VTuber community. This is a show about VTubers and VTuber fans. So, we did want to make it on brand, is not the way to say it exactly. Themed, I don't know. But as a VTuber fan, a VTuber artist, or a member of the VTuber support staff or similar. So if you're also just a fan, you're a clipper, you do something for the VTuber community, small or large, that is who we were looking for. So if you weren't,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, basically that's it. Um,
Yeah. And
have
while we understand that like there were a lot of people actually that want, especially like a lot of VAs that are there for casting calls and stuff, we wanted to make that very clear because we wanted to really platform the VTuber community. So yeah, just my 2 cents on that. We
mm-hmm,
just wanted to filter out that any VAs out there who were interested, maybe not for this one,
mm-hmm,
maybe not for this one. It's for VTubers for the most part. So
mm-hmm.
there.
While like we're hoping that this series reaches everybody, we're hoping
Yes.
that it reaches you guys, the VTuber community in particular, so that
Yes.
yeah, because it's for you, it's of you, it's about you. So,
Yes.
um, second, have a public online presence or persona on social media with a history that we can reliably check. Created, would you like to elaborate on
Okay.
this one?
Yeah. So this one was because of number one, actually, because like we need to know that you're a member of the VTuber community. And we kind of can't do that without checking if you actually have some sort of history online. So if you're just kind of there and joining, and we don't know where you're from or who you are, then we don't really know if you are part of the community. So we just needed a way to background check people in in that like okay, if you're a clipper, do you have clips? If you're an artist, you have art, and that's basically it,
Mm-hmm.
really. So that's what we really wanted to know of like do you have an online footprint that shows that you are a VTuber or part of the VTuber community, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So yes.
Do you have an
Basically
Oshi?
that. Do you
Yeah,
have an Oshi? If you do have an Oshi, where do you scream about them?
exactly. Actually,
Exactly. That
mm-hmm.
is the main part.
Like, have you heard Anna scream about her Oshi? Yeah, it's like that.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, exactly.
Into the void.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. So we were also looking for people who have minimal to no professional voice acting experience, as this is meant to be a newbie friendly role for a voice actor starting out or a simple cameo role.
Yeah.
Yep.
And just to give 2 cents on this one though,
Mm.
when I underlined their like professional voice acting experience because we know that a lot of people have done like comic dubs, fan dubs and stuff like that, but because and while that gives them an edge, that doesn't really count as professional in some veins. So we kind though so even if it does give people an edge, so long as you're still new, especially in the pro side, then yeah, that's completely fine. That's why for some people, even if they do those or like impressions and stuff like that, then those are still okay. Or if you actually got like voice acting coaching, or if you have any sort of experience before but didn't really go pro, that's fine too.
Mm-hmm.
That counts.
That does.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Oh, I'm not clicked on here. Okay. So
you're fine.
we also needed to make sure you'd be able to record your raw audio with minimal background noise because if you've seen the credits, we'll do the audio editing in house, so we need to know what we're working with. I.e., I am doing your audio editing. Please make this easy on me. But we wanted to make sure that we got a good handle on what your recording environment would be, so that we could see if with all the cleaning and with all the audio editing, you would be able to seamlessly um, be added into the drama because you don't want to hear everybody's audio. It's like very immersive, and all of a sudden it's like in the background, or like you're, or it sounds like you're talking through a tin can. So we wanted to be able to make sure that when you submit your audios, we would be able to integrate it better. So that's on that. Gonna try. Is there anything you want to add to that?
No, you covered it
Okay.
because you're also the one editing, so it's completely fine.
Fair, fair.
Okay.
Okay. We also wanted to make sure you'd be able to do voice acting leaning more natural and not too cartoony or anime, as the extra is meant to not look out of place in the scene that they're in.
Yeah, okay. So this one, because we've actually because like Jemmy and I both agreed that in the beginning, when we both actually checked what kind of thing are we doing here? Are we leaning it more anime or are we leaning it more um natural.
Mm-hmm.
And we both agreed that it was going to be a hybrid of both, but leaning more natural. Because even when I don't know if how many people, like ideally people here have actually watched the show. Even when inner Anna's thoughts are really really wild and bombastic, that's inner Anna, and that's Jemmy's performance inside, like, and that's still Anna's thoughts inside her head. So that's not meant to be the outward interaction between other people. So the key part here is the outward interactions are all meant to be very true to real life people, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So, in that vein, we need to make sure that people who are talking and interacting actually can match the vibe and sound like people. So that's why we needed to lean harder on the natural rather than like it looks V2, it looks like it looks anime inspired, but that's why we call it anime inspired and not anime full on.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're taking some things from it, but we're not hardcore going full English anime dub style. So there are some creative liberties that we took there as well. And we need to make sure that the extras that actually join in have the same style, because otherwise, if you hear someone, okay, having a normal conversation at the office and then suddenly someone else comes in, sounding like this,
Why did I
it's
think of
not
David
gonna
Kuhn?
it's not gonna work. So yeah,
Yep.
that's the main thing, that we can't have someone suddenly sounding like they're part of the wrong anime
Like you want to
in the
blend
work
into the
itself.
scene is one of the biggest
Exactly.
priorities. Yeah.
Exactly. So
Mm-hmm.
there.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. So what are we looking for? That's
The less obvious.
yeah. What we check that's not mentioned in the form. So this is the most more subtle things. But, um, so we are also looking for your current level of acting skill, and we wanted to see how people act if they could act at all.
Okay, yeah. For this one, it's because we know that people will shoot their shot
Mm-hmm.
no matter what level of acting they have. And we needed to know first, can you act at all? Yes? Cool. How well can you act? Were you a theater kid? And honestly, it's really obvious when some people are theater kids. It's actually really funny to point out the
It
theater
really
kids.
is.
It's really adorable.
I love
It's
it.
really, really adorable. Yes, exactly. And or have you been in, like, are you inspired by, like, have you done impressions? That's also very obvious when people have been doing impressions or have been inspired by anime. Like, what have you done to show, like, what experience do you have and what are you showcasing so that we can understand your level of experience, if any. And I know that, like, not everybody is made equal, and that's completely fine. And there's a lot of untapped talent out there where some people just need that chance. So we want to see who those people are and who's also interested in that. So, but we want to know, what is the baseline we're working with.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
because it does like yeah, acting. I mean, this is a whole audio drama with acting. We need to know that what kind of foundation you're working from,
Yeah,
and what
exactly.
foundation we can develop from.
Yes.
So, if
Okay.
we're also looking to see if the voice actor can follow directions in general, especially with the notes that were provided.
Okay, so my 2 cents here is because
Hmm.
honestly, it's because a lot of people get really excited that they go right into the line immediately and they skip over the direction. And when they read the lines, sometimes they actually wonder. They don't wonder. They just go for it because they have an idea of who the character is in their head. However, sometimes the direction might actually say something different. And sometimes it might be not what I'm looking for. So,
Hmm.
in that vein, I wanted to see how people can follow direction in general, because some of the notes there are a little more pointed than others. So, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So, we need to make sure that, like, especially when, honestly, this is the more important thing, because I need to know if I can work with you. And if my direction there is followed, then I know that, like, okay, then we can probably work together, because it actually means then that, like, there is, well, one, you read, and two, there is actually some weight in what I say in that case, or you pay attention.
Mm,
So I know that it's also different between verbally, when it's said verbally versus when it's reading, because people get excited. But admittedly, like I still need to understand and know that you can follow direction,
mm-hmm,
honestly speaking. Because if because on set, um a part of what makes, like, a big part of working on this thing is really the collaboration between voice actor. Like Jemmy and I have been collaborating so much when it comes to this, and it's really working towards the same thing of Jemmy acting to make the vision actually come to life, and I have to actually act, and I have to make sure that I make Jemmy shine, you know?
mm,
So because I'm watching over everything, while Jemmy is actually like focusing on, well, she's focusing on all of the different aspects, but I'm also one of the first filters
yep.
for the voice acting side as well. So I have to be sure that everybody's actually on top of what they need, is the emotion correct, and so on and so forth. And but I need to make sure that people can follow what I say.
Mm-hmm,
Okay.
yep.
Okay. And we can work together.
Yep. And like another
Okay.
way to like visualize this in a way, if I could throw my 2 cents in.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah.
with being an actor, you're kind of just put into the moment of the scene. And so that's your focus, right? But the director has the full picture of what's going to happen. They have all the context that's going to happen in later in the story. If you don't present it the way that they need to, you could be unfortunately a detriment to the story if you're not conveying it correctly, you know. So that's where the director comes in, and also because um, as an actor, you kind of just you don't always get full context because yeah, director has the full story, full picture. You want to maximize your resources, and a lot of that comes from your director. So and like it's not how do I say this? Because I think I saw some people, and I was like this in the beginning, where I was just like, okay, well, I'm gonna interpret this correctly from one read, and that's it. And it's not helpful. And I know at first I was just like, if I could get it right on the first try, that's like a point of pride for me. But it's not gonna help the production. It's not gonna help you. Um, it's definitely a collaborative thing. So yeah, I don't know if that made sense. But,
No, it does. It does for me, but I don't know for, like, some things are actually better experienced on set because
mm-hmm.
sometimes you learn, honestly, you learn a lot of things while being on set
Yeah,
as well.
I've learned
But I
so
hope that
much.
it's insightful for other people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All
So we're also checking to see how a voice actor interprets direction provided, especially when they show, excuse me, the delivery of the line in an immersive way that makes us believe that they're in the scene, aka acting.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so this one, by the way, with like when we say how a how a voice actor interprets the direction, is because even when like you read it, not everyone will actually show the same thing
Mm-hmm.
because everyone interprets things or expresses things differently. Which is why like uh the things like even when people say okay, act happy, not that many people are going to act happy the same way or express happiness the same way, even in the same context of the same line. Some might be more obvious when it comes to, like, example. There were a lot of reads actually with certain lines, like the first line and the third line, that actually read the same. But also, I attribute that actually to part of my writing. So that's, yes, that was on me as well. But at the same time, like there are, but the thing is that like just because it's actually read a specific way or like written a specific way, everyone still does theirs differently, or they can actually like pace it differently. They can actually like say certain parts differently. They can or like they can modify the intensity or like emphasize on different words. So not everyone would actually go about it the same way.
Yeah.
So yeah. So because of that, we want to see how you interpret it. And one part of that is obviously with the acting and how you act in relation, how you act and how you show what you interpreted or what you understood from it through your acting. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm.
So we're checking how they fit in with the rest of the work.
Okay. So this is interesting
Mm.
because what we also noticed was that okay. So another thing with fitting in when we actually mentioned the whole like natural leaning acting versus anime acting, right? And yet it's so interesting to see the different variations of how people act where it's anywhere from overacting too much
Mm-hmm.
or or underacting where they seem like that they're just reading. So if it's reading, you will stand out in the in you'll kind of take me out of it. But if
Mm.
it's the oh, wait, you'll take me out of it in the sense that you're actually like not even in the work and universe at all. If it's overacting, you call too much attention to yourself, especially when in this context you're an extra. You're not a recurring character, you're not supporting cast, you're not a main, you're an extra. So you're meant to hold back and fade in the background. So if you do a little too much, yeah. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to check, okay, I know that it's very exciting to have your chance to shine or chance to like showcase what you can do. But the problem is, when is that appropriate to show?
Mm-hmm.
Especially in this case, it's a casting call for extras.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's part of the
Okay.
role, or
Yep, yep,
it
yep.
is the role.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
So we also watched out. Oh, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready?
No, 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 go on, go on, go on.
Okay.
Yeah.
We also watched out for were there any changes in the initial line? How much and why? Why was it changed for the actor's creative expression or a rewrite that changed the line?
Yeah, okay. So
Mm.
this is interesting because like I know that there were a lot of people who also like changed up the lines a little bit. In some cases uh to make it easier for you to say because not all because there are going to be some times where some things actually end up tripping people up, you know? And that's completely fine. To actually like to change it for your ease or to change it to express something more creatively or like express yourself a little bit more because you're actually real you're into it as a specific character, okay, with your interpretation. However, this is where it kind of becomes a slippery slope
Mm-hmm.
because there's a difference between adding a couple lines to make it no, not lines, a couple words here and there to make it easier for yourself or to aid you in the performance and something completely different if you're just rewriting the line to suit you and it's no longer the same character.
Mm-hmm.
So don't my ask is especially when like me specifically I have trouble with this because I even tell my voice actors very specifically that details are like be careful with small details and canon details of your characters because I track them.
Mm-hmm.
And they may become very important details later because gestures that you're my if like taking your Mayushi as an example, Rylan revealed his identity through a drink order. So
Wow.
honestly, you never know what's going to be useful. And in the writing end, I need to be very careful when it comes to things actually being there because some inconsistencies are going to create loopholes. So that's me as a writer.
Mm-hmm.
So yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also just like uh in terms of like changing up the lines, something that you want to be careful with. Like sometimes like adding a few ad libs in here and there to enhance the scene is could be, part of the creative process. But one thing you want to be
Hmm.
careful of is that if you're auditioning, you want the director or the casting director to be able to trust you with the script that they're handing you. If you're just running
Yeah.
off and like retailoring it to fit you, why did they cast you to fill this character, right? Instead of like, because in that case, you're just changing the character to be more like you. Um, so it does have, you do have to watch out for that. Um,
Yeah.
mm-hmm,
I mean, it's completely fine in cases when like in this case like changing the lines of extras, it's
mm-hmm,
for me less consequential.
yep,
But if it was a supporting character where I'm actually going to be using them for something specific, I can't have like there might be some cases where that leeway won't be present, especially in like YMO is a lot more gentle for that
mm-hmm.
because um you know, it's very slice of life, it's very everyday.
It's pretty
But
low
if it's
stakes,
more,
honestly.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's more, but I plan on making a lot of other things, spoiler. But um because of that, I and if they're more cerebral and or if they're more uh how do I say this? Think like I guess the best way to say it is just thinky and there's a lot more things to map, then I will have trouble if people just add things out of the blue because I do a lot of thinky pieces and some of them might be coming sooner than expected. So that's all I'm gonna say for now. So watch out for it. Okay.
Okay. Where's my.
Okay.
There we go. So, we're also checking for the quality of audio and your recording environment. So, I touched on this earlier, since we did want to make sure that your audio quality was good so that it was in cleaning condition, I guess, so that you wouldn't stand out from the rest of the everybody else's audio. It wouldn't take the listener out of the scene. Um, and recording environment. So, if there's, well, I guess we have a tip on this later, um, which actually I guess I'll talk about when we get there. But yeah, so that's why we also asked for your raws, um, and for no editing on your on your takes. How well people followed the requirements asked, and how many people tried their luck with not following at all.
Okay, so for that one, I think actually a lot of people were just really excited. Because there's some people I think who either really really wanted to make a good impression and then used noise removal for their background noises, but unfortunately we can tell.
Yeah,
And there are some people who use filters during their recording to remove some of the background noises, but unfortunately we can also tell.
yeah,
So it's a thing. It's a thing.
yeah.
So try their luck is not even the most accurate thing here. It's really just a who forget honestly or who actually like thinks that they can make a better impression by doing something but it actually goes against the guidelines, so we just need people to follow what we ask or how many people just don't, because if some people just like push their luck anyway, then well you kind of did yeah, that's not gonna fly. Unfortunately, we need things specifically the way that they are because we actually need them for operations. So unfortunately, those are some people that may have not made it as well, but
Mm-hmm.
not mentioning who clearly, but those are some of the things that might actually kill your audition, so be very very careful when it comes to those when it comes to those.
Mm-hmm. And like if you think about it big picture, since this isn't just about You're My Oshi auditions, this is talking about auditions in general. While You're My Oshi is a small team, and we do have a lot of moving parts even with a smaller team. Um, which if you're going into a bigger production where there's a lot more moving parts with more characters and more extras, more recordings, they want to make sure, like staff is going to want to make sure that you are easy to work with and that you can follow instructions correctly, because they can't track all of these moving parts but then go back and try to fix like whatever it is that you're not doing, because they have to keep their focus on what their product is. You are a player in that. So they also want to make sure, well, with following instructions, they want to make sure that you're a good team player too. So that's something,
Yeah.
yeah, you want to take note of everything that is instructed of you to do.
Yeah, I mean, honestly speaking, a lot of people don't really realize. I like one of the biggest things that we've really learned right now is actually how much uh the entire production is not just really like acting
Mm-hmm.
and like focusing on yourself. It really is as well focusing like watching out for other people and the even just from the voice actor director part, it is such a key part. But even then, you have to be able to work with other actors too and the rest of the crew. It's really, really, really important that people realize the collaborative aspect of this and sometimes hearing like being a team player is one of the things that can actually like bring you further than you realize.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Yep. Also, it
be
will,
friendly, make friends.
yeah.
There you go.
Also, it'll give you a better opportunity. Like if you're in a bigger production, or if you're working with us too, um, if you're able to follow all the instructions to properly prepare everything else, then we can just focus on your acting instead of other things that could distract from that.
Exactly.
Yeah, which is what you want to do anyway, right? So,
Yeah,
yeah,
more acting.
acting.
Okay.
So, what did we find that can help you in your next audition? I mean, we touched on some of it
So these
already,
are
but.
yeah, it did. But then these are some of the more like actual bulleted practical tips, just
Mm-hmm.
so that like, and some of them we might just skim through because we've already mentioned it, but some of them will like mention fully.
Yep.
There.
Tips before recording. Before you press the record button, relax. If you're nervous or don't know what to do or don't feel confident, we can hear that. Yeah. So.
Yeah, a lot of people, it was very obvious where they were really, really, really excited to record. And they really just wanted to actually get the over with in like one take, send off the recording because, oh my gosh, an opportunity. Or another one where it's like, okay, you need to breathe. You really need to breathe for a second
Mm-hmm.
and then hit re-record again just so that you don't actually like uh how do I say this? Debuff yourself with that.
Mm-hmm.
So both of them can like at both ends of the spectrum can really affect the take because what we are looking for again, calling back to what we mentioned is how immersed you are in the scene. But if you're thinking more about your nerves or if you're thinking more about, "Oh my gosh, I'm going to get in," it's gonna show. And we can hear you being not focused on it and you're not convincing us that you're the character. You're more thinking about you and who you are in that moment, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So I can hear you. I can't hear the character, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. And I. Oh wait, go ahead. Do you have
No, go ahead,
a?
go ahead.
Okay. Okay, so I do have a tip for this one because I have also been told I need to relax. Because because sometimes, okay, so when you're not relaxing, you're usually putting a lot of pressure on yourself for that one great take. And most of the time, as we've learned, even as like voice actors in Telltale, most of the time it's not going to be the first take that we're going to take because you're going to end up warming up to it. But one of the things that I've taken to heart is being willing to laugh at myself when I do something like kind of silly. Um, and it kind of just, you know, takes the pressure off of you, and it puts you in a mindset of just having fun with the take and the read in general. So usually if I'm like really tense, I'll try to like imagine the scene maybe like a little bit funny, and then I'll end up laughing about it. And because of that, you're a lot more chill. um, I'm trying to remember if that was exactly what I said beforehand because I had this tip and I'm like, oh. But does that make sense?
Yeah, no, yeah, that was roughly it. So you're fine.
Yeah. But just be willing to laugh at yourself. Don't put so much pressure on yourself because then, yeah, you're definitely not going to relax if you're putting that pressure on yourself.
Yeah.
And most of the time, you're not going to get it in one take. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. practice.
Just have fun with the process,
Mm-hmm.
really. Just like have fun with what you're doing,
Mm-hmm.
really.
I mean,
Okay?
being
Okay.
creative is fun. So, yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Tips before recording. Move away from the mic. Step away from the mic. Be at least 8 inches slash 27, no, 27, 20 centimeters away from the mic, depending. I mean, it could be 27 centimeters, depending on how loud you're going to be. The louder, the farther you need to be.
Okay, the reason why we flag this right now is actually because there have been quite a few people that actually sound like that they're eating their mics in certain cases. Like, or their mics are so close and they're recording so close, we can hear their lips smacking, they're breathing deeply. And I don't know if that was the intended effect, but uh yes, we
Yeah,
hear you. We definitely hear you.
we hear everything, which is not
Yes.
always a good thing.
Yeah,
So,
because raw doesn't mean that raw.
mm-hmm.
Maybe not. Maybe not. Actually, that's a funny thing though, that like some people did actually almost sound ASMR-y. And I'm like, hold on here. I don't think that this was the take. Okay, you know what? Nope. Nope. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's the main thing of just I think somebody also used their headset mic at a certain point and we could really hear like the pops, the plosives and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So please keep away from your mic or at least like put yourself at like a good distance because our poor ears and
Yeah.
the poor recording.
And
Uh,
and actually something that I learned because I did used to eat my mic. Sorry guys. Not I mean before YMO. But um if you have a pop filter, you can also use that as a gauge to like keep yourself away from the mic so that you're not eating it. Because that is literally a shield from the mic. Um but also, actually, I'm gonna give credit where credit's due. Prod Carl Francis, who has been teaching me how to VA mix, and who is in chat right now, um, kind of brought this to my attention because I was always self conscious of like, okay, is the mic gonna pick me up? Am I being loud enough? He brought my attention to like you all know Alex Lee. He is an anime voice actor. He does a lot of screaming. Because if you see some of his clips where he's in the booth, you can see how far away he is from the mic. Like you don't always have to be that far from the mic, but take that into account. Like he is very far because he's screaming and extremely loud. So you'll just have to kind of gauge from there and check your audios to see how it is. But even like from one time when we were doing a table read, I had to do inner Anna, and you know inner Anna is very inner Anna. Inner Anna is
Inner Anner.
I was like is very loud. There was one time I think I had to do a table read and I had to redo an inner Anna line again where she's like freaking out and spazzing. I was like, okay, hold up, let me back up. And I physically backed up from my mic. So I'm back here if you hear a volume difference from me. So there's that. Okay, next tip, drink water and keep it nearby. Recommendation is room temp water, not cold water, as that affects your throat as you perform.
Okay. Honestly, I don't think that that one and the next one actually need that much additional information because like
Mm-hmm.
that's just really for our throat and vocal health basically.
Yeah.
So you can go to the next one too, I
Yeah.
think.
I will say though, for if you're really, really new to this and new to using your voice, um, there is such a thing as vocal fatigue. So you do have to be careful that, which is why you keep the water by you. You want to stay hydrated. But if it starts to hurt
Mhm.
at any point, you need to stop because
Okay, there you go.
that can lead to permanent damage if you keep pushing it. Um, so just something to keep in mind. And that, like it's
Yes, please
fine.
don't get hurt.
Yeah, please don't ruin your voice. Your voice is precious,
Don't
and
hurt
your voice
yourself.
is your tool. But yes, the room temp water is actually very important. I know a lot of people like cold water, but you also don't want scalding hot water either because when you drink cold water, it actually constricts your vocal cords. So it's not as pliable and it won't come out as clearly or make the sound that you want as well as you would like it. Room temp water is great. Hot water, you don't want to scald your vocal cords either. You don't want to scald your throat. So just, yeah, keep that in mind. If you don't have access to, like, if you have access to a kettle and then cold water, just mix the two. If you don't have room temp water, if you don't want to drink tap water. So that's a tip. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Warm up your throat before voice acting. It makes a big difference in the performance.
I think you have more to say about this than I do.
Well, okay, so if you guys don't know, I'm also a V singer, so I do a lot of vocal warm ups as well, and it really gets like, I mean, it's like if your throat is just like kind of, or if your voice is kind of like gravelly, like you do want to warm yourself up. You do want to like clear those airways a bit. So a good way to find, there's a lot of different warm ups that you could do for your voice. Um, you can find them all on YouTube and see what works best for you. That's really all I can say. um, yeah. Is that it?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Minimize the
Okay.
sources of background noise. Temporarily turn off electric fans, air conditioners, clocks, etc. And we recommend making a blanket fort to dampen any sounds bouncing off the walls in the room. Is this me or is this
I
you?
think that I think it's you,
Okay.
honestly.
Okay.
Because to me it's
Yeah,
self-explanatory.
yeah, yeah. So, okay, if you guys are super, super new, um, there is such a thing as room reverb where you can hear your voice kind of echoing in the room, especially if you have a lot of hard surfaces in the room. So, if there's like nothing on your walls, there's no furniture in the room, you're going to hear your voice going everywhere, and the mic is going to pick up all of that. And it makes a big difference in your audio quality. So, one of the things that was recommended to me early on is actually uh, basically covering yourself and your mic with a blanket to dampen like the sound waves, if anything, to keep it all in one place so it's not bouncing around the room. So there won't be an echo, or there'll be less echo. Um, so you could either throw a blanket over your head and your mic. You could make a blanket fort. Um, if you have the money and you want to splurge, you could get a recording booth, but that's not a requirement, especially for this project. They're expensive, so think about that before you do
Hmm,
that.
hmm.
Um, let's see. Um, the way that I did the blanket fort, because like I don't necessarily have the furniture to build a like a kid blanket fort, and like I tend to stand when I record, so I can't really stand in a blanket fort. I actually built like a structure to drape blankets over to kind of make like a makeshift recording booth. But as long as you have like cloths, like heavy cloths or heavy blankets, comforters even, um, to absorb that sound, that will be so much better for your recordings in the end. Especially if you have a
And
powerful
mind
mic.
you that yeah, and mind you that like it's more important as actually to like get the sound dampened from behind you
Mm,
because that's where the sound is going. So don't so as much as possible like have something behind you just so that it's not gonna pick up the sound in your direction basically wherever the especially like be aware of what um direction your mic records in especially
mm-hmm.
just for that.
I would
Okay.
say like back, but also front, because like wherever you're facing,
Yes.
your voice is going there first. It's gonna bounce back at you, also. So
Mm-mm. So back front.
yeah,
The back and front.
if you could
Okay.
surround yourself, that works better. But if you can only do two, front and back,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
that's why
Okay.
also a lot of people end up recording in their closets. If you can make that situation happen, if your computer is near a closet, with clothes, not just an empty closet, because the fabric is gonna absorb all the sound. So that is actually a pretty good place to record if you can do that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
When recording, check your waveforms, please. So, what is ideal when recording? If your waveforms, when you're doing a recording, look like a line, despite there actually being something recorded on this, it looks like a line, you are too quiet. And that it doesn't mean that you have to speak louder. You probably have to increase the gain on your microphone. or move closer
Or
to the mic.
mess with settings because something
Mm-hmm.
might have gone wrong somewhere in your
Yep.
DAW or whatever you're using to record.
Mm-hmm. I guess actually in that case also make sure your where the I guess your input source is actually the mic that you're wanting to work with, because sometimes computers will glitch. They'll take some other mic that you're not even aware is connected to your computer, like a like like a video game controller. My computer has done that a couple times. So that's also something. But yeah, if you can't see your waveforms, there's a problem. And if you can't see your waveforms, the editor probably can't see your waveforms either, which makes this amply harder. Please don't do this to me, I beg. I've done this a couple times and I'm like, where are you talking? This is so hard to work with. Um, so you also,
Uh,
yeah. So you also don't want your waveform or you also don't want to be too loud, and you'll be able to tell if you're too loud through your waveforms if you see that it's being cut off at the top and the bottom. The top and the bottom, that means that you're clipping, which means that you're uh well, it means that you're too loud, but it also means that your computer or your DAW is actually cutting off data. So they're not getting the full scope of your voice, which is the
yeah.
point. So you want to make sure that you're not doing that. You could fix that by lowering your gain. And maybe talking just maybe a little bit quieter. Sometimes I know if you're wearing headphones, you tend to project a little bit more because you can't hear yourself because it's already blocking your ears. So it's harder to gauge your own volume, your personal volume. So that could be something to look into also. Um,
Yeah.
what we're looking for is what's just right here. So you're not, you can see your waveforms. It's not getting cut off. You can tell if it's being cut off if there's like just straight lines. So sometimes it could even look like it's peaking. That's what this is. Clipping, peaking is when it's like cut off like this. Um, Sometimes it will look, if it looks like it's too flat, sometimes that means that you're also clipping there. But these are perfect waveforms that you're looking for. So that's the standard, at least for us. And I think
Yeah,
industry.
yeah,
I'd
yeah.
like to say industry too, but yeah.
Probably too, because like there are some points that it's going to be like, especially with it being, and okay, here's the thing. From a director perspective, and when we're reviewing the takes, if it's too quiet, I can't hear a dang thing. If it's too loud, you've just basically blown out our ears.
Yeah.
If it's just right, we can actually hear you, and then we can just review your lovely, lovely take.
Mm-hmm.
So yes,
Yes.
as much as possible,
Oh.
stay in the just right zone, just so that we can fairly review you.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
You don't want anything else to distract from how we would listen to you, you know? So,
Yeah, exactly.
mm-hmm. Tips before and for submission. Submit takes early, but don't rush them. Audition fatigue is definitely a thing.
Because we found out the hard way that like okay, audition fatigue. What does that mean? Well, at least for us, because for transparency, we actually do check on the auditions as on the submissions as they come in, because I personally don't want us to actually be behind and or need to check on all of them at the end of it. So we do check them, and then afterwards we recheck them at the end of it to see if whatever we decided on them stand. So we don't just give them one listen, we give them multiple listens. But in giving them multiple listens, okay, it gets it gets very tiring to hear the same takes in succession sometimes and the multiple ways that people have done them. So some people stand out and some people stand out good and
Mm-hmm.
some people stand out bad. So
Yep.
we so in these cases it's better to get your auditions earlier in just so that you will catch us before audition fatigue sets in. Though if it's later on then it's okay. We're
We'll
still
still
gonna
listen.
judge it fairly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're still gonna listen. It's just we're a lot more tired down the line. So this is might be more of a tip where we don't know what other people do, but for us, and this might be a consideration where if they're gonna try and keep up with the auditions as they come in, early might be good.
Hmm.
So just an FYI.
But that doesn't mean you have to submit on the first day. Like, take your time.
Yeah, please don't.
That's why we say
Please.
don't rush, because like, don't just take a take and be like, okay, I want to be the first one in there. Here you go. And then you didn't check
Yes.
it. Like, you didn't really think about it too much, which, is just human to do sometimes, especially if you're very excited. Um, yeah, don't
Yeah.
rush it. Like, make sure you want to put your best foot forward. And if it takes a little bit more time to do that, that will benefit you more than submitting it super, super early. Because,
Yeah, 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 yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
when you've put the thought and the practice into it, we can hear that instead of just like a
Yes.
cold read and hope for the best. Um, and I guess another thing that I've noticed with other productions that do casting calls, if you wait too long and it's a really hot casting call, they will sometimes close that form early because they're like, we've hit 700 auditions. We're not going to listen to any more because there's probably somebody in here who can fill the role already. So you don't want to
Yeah,
wait till the last minute.
or they may have actually already found someone. It's not good practice, really,
Mm-hmm.
to close an audition early, and we won't ever do that because we want
No.
everyone to get a fair shot.
Mm-hmm.
But some people might do that more because they actually they more because they already found the voice.
Yep.
So it is what it is. Um, but in that case, try to get your auditions in early more for your case, for more for your sakes. But again, don't rush.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So be careful with changing the audition lines in your submission.
All
Okay.
right. I already touched on this, so I won't actually revisit it. It's more of a really big stickler for me because, like, again, I have mentioned how much I need, like, some of the things that I will end up doing are very particular when it comes to a character, especially when, again, we'll be doing a lot more casting calls down the line
Mm-hmm.
because I have a lot more projects that I really want to do. And some of them are a lot more critical with how the characters are and what they say. So changing a line or two or a few words will actually have a greater impact than people may think. Like for like giving a "You're My Oshi" example, actually,
Mm-hmm.
um, the conversation actually between Anna and Lottie in episode 2, um, that one was crafted very specifically because both of them were having two conversations at the same time. Because Anna was trying to keep continuously tell the truth to her best friend, but also skirt the truth at the same time. While Lottie was under the impression of, oh, she just found something that she didn't need to. Oh, silly Anna. So it was two conversations and I had to craft their vocal lines and their what they said very specifically to convey that. So a lot of my writing is actually really thoughtful. So in that vein, some of the lines have leeway, some of them don't. We have to work together then, as voice actor and director, to see where that will be because of how I build my stories. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So the teamwork aspect is actually a lot more important there too. Okay,
Yes.
keep going.
Cut down the tracks to only the line. That's not to say edit all the silences, but at least the beginning and the end to remove empty space or unnecessary noises and clicks. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So mind you though that this is mainly for auditions because we're going to be needing to find the line and listen to them straight. So if there's too much silence before and after and we're waiting for a second take or if there's more or whatever, but unfortunately it's all silence, then it's like, okay, why is this here? Okay, maybe at least trim it, please.
Yep.
Okay.
It does also show
Yeah.
that, like, some thought, I guess.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, it does.
Yep. And it makes, you know.
At least some consideration for us because like at
Mm-hmm.
least that way you're also like yeah, being considerate of the people who are taking the time to listen. So if you put some thought into it, it also shows that to us that you care.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
And it
So
looks
we would
cleaner.
appreciate more of that. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Give a good
Okay. So
impression. It's
yes,
clean.
exactly.
Clean your room.
Exactly.
Okay, sorry. Okay,
Oh, Jimmy.
sorry.
Okay.
Only
You're
submit
good.
when you're ready. Do not do placeholders in your submission that you'll get back to later. It reflects as unprofessional reading, haha, and we may not necessarily wait for you.
Okay, this is because we've actually had quite a handful of people who have submitted empty how do I say this? Empty forms and thought that they could come back and edit the form later. And some of them have, and some of them have not. So this is a case of while it's while you can do that, it doesn't mean you should.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, this is still like you're joining a production. You're still doing a job. You're doing a thing. You kind of want to leave a good impression, and a lot of these cases aren't necessarily leaving the best impression where what we can what we see then is okay, you're just calling dibs, but you're not really submitting anything. So it's kind
Mm-hmm.
of it's not the best look.
No.
It's not the best look.
Don't give
So yeah.
don't give a casting director a reason to just like filter you out because they're going to be going through so many auditions. They're also going to be looking for ways to cut down on how many that they're looking for. So if you are doing that, you're not setting yourself up for success, because they'll be like, well, apparently this person didn't care enough to prepare everything. And while I know some people accidentally submitted some stuff this time, just be careful because yeah, they're finding ways to weed out as many people as possible, um,
Mhm.
which is like it's like also like for
Mhm.
any kind of acceptance thing, like especially if you get like a high
Yeah.
volume of applicants, because realistically, they're not going to be able to listen to everybody. We did because we wanted to make sure, especially if you're new to the scene, you get a fair shot. But for bigger productions and for higher volume places, they're going to find ways to cut down the workload, which is just
Yeah, and
reality.
sometimes, like, mind you, we have listened to every single one of people's takes,
Mm-hmm.
and I really mean like start to finish. We have listened to every single one.
Multiple times.
Um, yes, exactly. But the problem is that not everyone will, and if they actually do find something that they don't like, they will stop the recording and then just drop it.
Yep.
So, really, when we say put your best foot forward, really put your best foot forward. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, because like we want to be sure that people actually have the best, like the best chance of actually being listened to and or like getting that call back or whatever like that. In our case, we just want people to actually like learn something good
Mm-hmm.
from this experience because like not everyone will be able to get into the next stage, you know? But that doesn't mean that you can't learn an important lesson in this case. So we're
Mm-hmm.
just hoping that people will, you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
I,
Okay.
yeah. I guess in line with putting your best foot forward, not just best foot forward, pretend you already got it. This is the take that's gonna be in it. Uh, I guess that
Yeah.
that might put pressure on you, but it's also like a standard of like what you can
Yeah.
check
Like
against.
show the voice show the casting director or whoever you're actually going to be there, like whoever's going to listen, what your take will look like,
Mm-hmm.
you know? If they hire you, this is what you're bringing to the table.
Mm-hmm.
So, is that the best you could have done? Like, is that what you're putting forward then in that vein?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that might actually be more valuable as like an outlook. So, thank you, Jemmy.
No, thank you. I'm glad. I just want to be helpful. Okay.
You
Well,
are.
thank you. But here are the biggest tips we wanted to highlight.
Okay.
Tip one: read. I'm also saying this to myself,
Yeah,
guys. But
yeah, this is probably the tip that I actually tell everyone,
yeah.
no matter how pro you are, or no matter how like new you are, I keep repeating this one tip so many times.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So read the brief and information carefully because there may be critical requirements that you're missing.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so in this one, honestly, it's because one of the things that I actually wanted to highlight most in this audition specifically is actually there were a lot of people who leaned a lot more into the anime voice acting, and I
Mm,
understand why, especially with YMO being leaning towards that or people getting really excited. But unfortunately, we did state that that's not what we're looking for.
yep.
So hearing them doing those takes in an anime voice, I'm like, ah, oh no. Oh no. So yeah, there
Yeah.
are some key details that people might be missing as a result of that, even if like I really, really want to actually like I really wish the best for people, but oh boy.
Yep.
Or yeah, go on.
No,
Eh?
like especially for auditions because yeah, you're not getting full picture. You want to maximize how many resources you're taking from. You want to get as much context as possible because you're not able to talk to the director during an audition normally, especially for stuff like this. Um, so you want to get as much context as possible, and you get that by reading everything and reading everything multiple times because that's what I need to do sometimes. I missed some details on the first read,
Uh,
and I'm like, oh yeah, that did say that. And then created calls me out on it. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm learning to read.
yeah. But again, you're the benefit of a director actually checking in on you.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, with some people, they don't. So, in that rate, I really, really say, even in your excitement, even in your nerves, read the information at least like 3 times. I know that it's really, really wordy, but this is also me trying to stack as much information as possible
Mm-hmm.
to your favor. Like, really. I just want to give you information just so that it can actually set you up for success. So it's kind of on you then if you don't use it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So yeah, in
Mm-hmm.
that vein. So yeah,
Neat.
please read. Illiterate, please don't choose to be illiterate selectively. Please read. Okay.
Well, I guess it's, yeah,
All right.
same thing. Read the directions carefully if provided. If you miss the mark on what is asked, you may miss your chance.
Yeah, emphasizing this one because like it's one thing to read the instructions when we actually gave it, and it's another thing to read the direction. Because there's some cases where, example, I'm looking for like when I said that it was the first and third line. Here's where I can elaborate a bit. Where
Mm-hmm.
the first line I specifically said, "Don't make it like Anna." When I said that, what I meant was I don't want to hear people who are too, how do I say this? Spazzy?
Yeah, spastic.
Loud? Like super excited in that. Well, you can be excited because excitement is still actually inherently in the line, but I can't actually go with the idea of like, um, I can't have somebody sound like our main character because the dangerous part there is that if I confuse you with the main character in the work itself, that's not a good thing. That's
Mm-hmm.
why I said don't say it like Anna, because that is yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we can't have, there is only one Anna and it is Jemmy. I
Hi.
can't have another Anna.
Hi, I'm Anna.
So yeah, there we go. So okay, and the second one is I'm looking for like in the third line, it was specifically I said no Valley Girl. What did I mean by that? I did not want to hear Mean Girl vibes. So that is the thing that but I heard so many takes that actually went in that direction. So I'm like, oh no. Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, um, it actually, so if there are things that we're not looking for, I would say please follow it. If there are things that we are looking for, I would also like to highlight that one because like including like being very transparent in the fourth line
Mm-hmm.
since the auditions are over. In the fourth line, I was actually hoping that more people would catch on to the sentimental part of the performance because when I
This
said
was thank you
initially it
for
was
being
going
my
to
Oshi,
be,
right?
yeah, it's a
Okay.
thank you for me my Oshi for fourth line. I was actually looking for people to catch on more to the sentimental part because it's like you're nervous and everything, but then the person you care about is right in front of you and you wanted to say thank you. I wanted to hear more sentimental and soft and being genuine about that thanks.
Hmm.
It was actually missed. So it's interesting to see. So but mind you, I skewed my rubrics and my judgment based on like what people did show, and again other things are more important, especially like the acting skill that we mentioned that we were looking for. Those are more important to me because some other things can actually be fixed by me telling you the direction, you know.
Hmm.
So those are completely fine. And but if you could go completely off the mark, even understanding what the line was meant to be, then that's where I'm like, okay, maybe not. Maybe not. That's why read the directions very carefully, especially if provided, because some will provide it, some will not, and some will just give you sample lines.
Hmm.
But if you have direction, please use the resource as much as you can because it's there for you and to help you. Okay?
Hmm. And also a clue: if they have direction, they're looking for something specific. So if they don't, then
Yeah.
they are leaving it up to your interpretation. In which case, you could go ham with how you hear it in
Yeah.
your head. Um, and sometimes, yeah, especially for the Valley Girl one,
Some,
because I know
yeah.
on for my the first time I read it, in my head I heard it as a
Mm-hmm.
Valley Girl. Um,
Yeah.
but that's also a challenge for you. Like, how do I make this different? Like, how would I say this in whatever setting that I'm imagining? So, yeah. You also have to, like, okay, I heard this from another fellow voice actor, and I also do this too. When you're reading something, um, and maybe sometimes like the script or the line doesn't really set the scene for you, set it in your head. Like, how do you hear this being presented? Like, can we talk about how we imagined um, the Valley Girl one to be created?
Wait, sorry, what am sorry.
Can we explain
I
how
lost it for a bit.
Okay, can we
Okay.
explain how we kind of imagined the conversation, the Valley Girl conversation to be?
Okay. If I'm honest, the entirety of this audition was actually meant to be things that are very accessible
Mm-hmm.
to people who are very new. The first, like, I can even go through all of them
Go
if
ahead,
ever.
actually. I mean, the auditions are
Okay,
over.
okay.
I think this would
Yeah,
be good
sure.
insight, too.
Yeah. The first one, I was just looking for how do you react when you see merch that you wanted? Like, very casually. Like, what would you do if you found that one merch you wanted and like in random in a con or somewhere?
My idolish 7 months
That
Victoria
was
plushie.
really it. The second one was okay. That was actually not like okay. Honestly speaking, all five of them were meant to be five different characters. They're
Mm-hmm.
not meant to be a test for everyone to be able to do. So if you did all five, then cool. If you did just one, cool.
Mm-hmm.
And nailed it, cool. If you didn't nail it, okay. Try again next time. But either way, they're meant to be five different people, so you could read it as yourself in the same voice. But if not, then that's completely fine as well. And if you wanted to change it up, that's okay. The second one, why am I saying this? Is because the second one that was actually meant to be for people who are more soft spoken, and I wanted to give them a chance to actually do something more representative of them. So if you have a more soft spoken voice, that was the audition for you. Because that could play into your strengths of not necessarily being loud, but you could have that moment of being able to shine because there's that nervous character that you can embody. The first one was more for loud people. So enjoy. Or people who were really, really into like merch and stuff and can express um that kind of happiness. Oh my god, merch kind of thing, you know? The fan vibe.
Mm-hmm.
The third one, what I was looking for was actually how would you talk to your friend in a Discord call?
Yeah.
Like you're just legitimately talking to a friend on Discord about the latest tea. That's all I wanted.
Have you heard about this
Okay.
stuff on Ryland Renegade?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Like really? What like what
Wait,
did he
what
do?
happened? Like, yeah.
What happened?
Hmm.
What?
I missed it.
Dang, what's a tea girl? That
Spill the
kind of
tea.
thing, you
Hold
know?
on, I got tea. Hold up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically, it's that. It's literally just how do you talk to your friend as naturally as possible?
Hmm.
Fourth one is a little bit specific, but I think that I needed to be a bit more specific because, this is a very fan oriented work as well. I needed to find people who could be representative of fans, where I needed to know who could actually understand the fan experience and actually have that moment of being in front of their Oshi and conveying that genuine thanks because it is You're My Oshi and we have Anna as the main character. But we're also going to have like some moments that are more representative of that fan experience. So we need fans to represent it. So if you have ever been a fan and can convey that thanks, the more that you can do that line if you understand it. Then the last one was more for the people who had that like stronger voice, that more authoritative sound, that more the people who can lean more that direction.
Hey, you.
So yes.
So I can't do it.
However,
That's not my strength.
however, my biggest thing is we're kind of we okay, the biggest thing that we had to dodge and really watch out for is whatever okay, and I think that this is something that people will need to know as well.
Mm.
Whatever you're used to and your influences with what you actually are used to and what you've done, it shows. So whether it's theater, I've touched on this before, whether it's theater, then it's gonna show. If it was anime, we're gonna hear it.
Mm-hmm.
If it's ASMR, we're gonna hear that too.
Mm-hmm.
So if you flirted or done fansa through your streams, especially if you're a VTuber, we're gonna hear that too.
Mm-hmm.
So we've heard quite a few takes that are that way. And that was not what we were looking for. But that could be a directional note, so we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
Yeah. I mean, if you didn't get it right on the mark, didn't necessarily disqualify you. Um,
Yeah. It's
yeah.
still like carried by your acting ability because again, we do have some leeway if people just misunderstand it in the like directional note. And then we understand that like, okay, maybe, but if you have acting ability and we can just steer you the right way, then we do see that. We do
Mm-hmm.
see your effort in that, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So don't get totally discouraged
Yeah.
by that.
I see some of you in chat
Okay.
being like, I have anxiety. Don't worry. Don't be anxious. Especially now. This is
You're
just you're
fine.
learning. It's a whole learning process. So don't beat yourself up.
Exactly, and we're learning along with
Yep.
you. It's great.
This is our first
Nobody knows
production.
what
We're
they're doing.
yep. No, we are definitely figuring this out as we go.
Exactly. Okay.
Be careful with pronunciations, especially of important
Okay, this is
nouns and names. Do you want me to read the whole thing or do you want to go?
yeah, go ahead.
Okay, especially of important nouns and names in the work. If you have an accent, mileage may vary. With us at Telltale and YMO, we don't mind so long as the pronunciation is clear and the words won't be mistaken for other words.
Yeah, okay. So this is an interesting thing because like we actually got a lot of people who joined the audition with well, varying things.
Mm.
Um what I found the most interesting was how many people mispronounce the names of our
Of our main
main
guy.
character. Yes. So I that's the one I'm gonna flag because it was very interesting to see. Some of the mispronunciations was very understandable, but it kind of goes back to really this tip of reading for real. Because like I was almost gaslit for a moment to wonder if I actually like wrote the line correctly, but I'm pretty sure I did. So this is why it's under the section of reading, please.
Mm-hmm.
Um and we did have a trailer out already, so admittedly, if even if people didn't know the pronunciation, if you actually just like this will mileage may vary again in this one as well, where we know that pronunciations are actually tough, especially when you're reading words off a page. And in our case, we actually did have the benefit though of already having a trailer and couple episodes out ahead of time. So there was a resource in existence to help people with their pronunciation of some of the things. Even just watching the trailer, which is 30 seconds, would have actually given you all you needed to know about the pronunciation of at least the main character. The
Mm-hmm.
other word, magop, that was trickier, and I actually let that slide a lot more. That's completely fine. But the main character, though, was a little bit more sticky
Mm-hmm.
because he's the main
Okay.
character.
Yeah.
So,
So
yeah.
when you're reading your scripts, also slow down and like really read them. So,
Yes, please.
mm-hmm.
Because, like, we get it. It's
We do.
exciting.
Mm-hmm.
We really get it. But at the same time, like, please be careful because the smallest things can actually like be the reason why your audition might bomb in some places that are less forgiving.
Mm-hmm.
And we want to set you up for success.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
So if you have an accent, mileage may vary. And why do I say mileage may vary? Because some people are actually looking for specific accents. Clearly, the ever present British accent, like must have British accent in some cases, must have this specific American accent here and there. So it's that kind of thing that some people might look for. We don't look for that specifically, and a lot of the things that I actually have down the line will mostly be blind casting, where I don't really need people to be from a specific place. My only thing is the pronunciation has to be clear enough that I don't mistake what you're saying for other words.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Because like some accents can be actually pretty thick that if you speak slowly, it's fine, but if you speak quickly, I can't understand what words are said, and that's detrimental to your performance. More because like I understand the excitement, but at the same time, the audience needs to know what is said.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the main concern there. It's not even, yeah, mainly that really.
Right.
Okay.
And also,
Yeah.
especially since this is, though we have visuals, this is primarily an audio drama. So if they can't understand your audio, if the audience can't, then it becomes a problem. But
Yeah.
also, I guess with this, I think we're talking about research later. But also, it
Yes.
if we can I just touch on this one real quick? Oh, we'll revisit it
Yeah, go
too.
ahead.
Um, so an audition, as much as we don't like to think of it like this, it is essentially a job application. So if you can find the resources to do research, and luckily we did. I mean, we have, yeah, like Created said, we have a couple of episodes out. We have a trailer out. Um, it would only benefit you to do some digging on what the content is, what it is that you're auditioning for. I know there are a lot of casting calls out there that give you very little context, so in which case you kind of just have to go in and interpret it. But if you have access to the source material, that can only help you. And that can also, much like when you apply to a company, if you show that you have interest in the company, that will only help your interview. That's the same thing as casting calls in a way. It's not all the time,
Yeah.
but especially for passion projects, it will only help you if you show interest in the series. I think. Um,
Yeah, and like it's not totally required
mm-hmm.
for people to know about like to watch every episode of YMO.
Yeah,
But if you're joining, just make sure you know what you signed up for, you know?
yeah.
So yes. Uh,
Okay,
there you go.
so
Okay.
read the line before you perform. This prevents the voice actor from sounding confused during the take itself. But don't overdo reading and practicing to the point of memorizing the way you'll be doing your performance. Stay flexible.
Okay. Do you want to be the one to actually mention this? I'll follow up after.
Okay, so sometimes, well, okay, I mean, you want to know, you want to be confident about what you're reading instead of just sometimes, uh, I know in industry, they talk about cold reads a lot, and sometimes when you're doing ADR and dubbing, that's just what you have to go on. Um, Luckily here, that's not the case, but you want to make sure that you are reading it for like for understanding. Like what is your scene? How can you create this scene in your head that you are putting yourself in as the character? And the only way that you could really do that is really by reading the lines and getting as much context from it as you can. Um, so if you're cold reading and just going off of that, sometimes you'll be reading a line and you think you know where it's going, but then it takes a turn and you're just like, where did this come from, huh? And then, like we can hear it. We can hear it when you don't, when you're not sure, when you're not confident about it. But that being said, we also, as voice actors in Telltale, we've also run into this problem where if we over rehearse a certain line and we just stick to that one read, it becomes very stiff and it sounds very rehearsed instead of staying natural and loose. So that's why we say stay flexible.
Yeah, especially when like sometimes some people like especially with remote, okay.
Yeah.
Not every take will be something that you actually have live directed, you know. So it projects will vary depending. Best case is that you have a live recording session and you actually have the director with you so that they can adjust your take and then you are done within like a few hours.
Mm-hmm.
If you're recording by yourself though, because it's like that much of a indie passion project kind of scenario, uh and you have to self-direct, don't do don't do the same thing over and over again because you never know if your interpretation is the correct one and then the director comes back to you and then gives feedback that's like that's not right and then you're kind of stuck because we've actually had it a few times where people have memorized a take and then I have to now help them unstuck themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Because you didn't have to
which is
unlearn the read that you've been rehearsing in your head.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, as much as possible, don't memorize. Like memorizing in a certain way um can help you, I guess, if you need that vein of like knowing what you're going to
Mm-hmm.
do and reading ahead and everything, but don't memorize the take because you're not sure if that's going to be the right one, especially if you have a director's feedback. If they ask you for something else, you might not know what something else is because you're stuck.
Yeah. Like I would say, like
Okay.
memorizing the line isn't bad. Memorizing the delivery and then cementing it in your head is the
Yeah.
problem. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So don't cement the delivery. Remember the words,
Mm-hmm.
probably is the best way that we can put it.
Yeah.
Okay. Hopefully that's insightful.
I think it is.
Yes.
Tip two: listen. Listen back on your own takes or ask a trusted friend to give feedback.
Okay. This is an interesting one because
This is you.
yes, because I'm pretty sure that I can tell which people actually just did either one or two takes, didn't listen, and then clicked submit because they were nervous.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of obvious when it's either people are too excited or people are very nervous that they don't decide, this is good enough, you know? Uh, the good enough wasn't probably good enough. So you probably need to really, really, really give it a listen. Like, whatever you hear, we can hear with extra steps. So if you sound nervous, we can hear your nerves. If you think that the recording doesn't sound great, maybe don't submit it. Or if you think that the recording is just good enough, that will maybe or maybe not be good enough on our end.
Mm-hmm.
So please be careful when it comes to your submissions and please listen back on your own takes, not for criticality and not to beat yourself up, but more for actually evaluating yourself and what you've done properly. Because that's another skill for a voice actor to develop where you listen to yourself and you can self evaluate as well so that you know, especially when it comes to auditions, because not that many people might actually help you, but you need to listen back to your own takes to know what do you sound like and being aware of your own instrument.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't do it, ask a friend to do it. Someone who you really trust to give you proper feedback on it, just so that you can actually get like some or even like if you're really tired from listening back to your own voice that you really can't tell if it's good or anything anymore, that sometimes happens. So ask a friend or
Yep.
like ask a peer. There are some voice acting servers out there. You can actually ask them maybe. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah. There are, like,
yeah,
also with vocal fatigue, there's also such thing as hearing fatigue. So if you've been listening to it over and over, you'll kind of become immune to it and can't really tell. So that is also when you would go to another person for feedback.
yeah.
Hmm. Okay, double check your recordings before submitting, especially for mistakes and access issues.
Okay, so
Mm.
there have been a few people that have actually submitted um either duplicate lines where I have not been able to actually see specifically certain lines for specific things, and other cases where what I see is uh I can't see anything at all basically because they set it to private. So to be fair to everyone who did the submission right, I did not I as much as I could flag people and tell them, "Hey, you're privated." I can't do that and give an unfair advantage to the people or like unfair consideration to the people who follow the direction. And especially when I reminded a few times through the announcements to watch your access.
Mm-hmm.
So unfortunately we did have to disqualify a few people because I couldn't hear them at all.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Because the link wasn't
And I
shareable.
think that yeah, the link wasn't shareable. I couldn't see the files or anything. So
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, there are people that didn't make it because of something like that. And I hope that they just take it as a learning opportunity rather than a thing to beat themselves up over. So uh yeah,
Yeah.
please double check everything before you actually click submit. No matter how excited you are, there could be something wrong somewhere. So please,
Mm-hmm.
so please be careful.
Like, don't rush
Okay.
that that you end up being sloppy about it.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes, please. Please
Clean
don't.
your room.
Okay.
Okay, watch out for peeking, pops, lip smacking, and additional unnecessary noises like creaks. When asked for raws, these don't need to be cleaned out, but they can be cut off in the beginning or end of the
Cut
track,
off.
or
Oops.
re-recorded if there are too many included in the lines. Oh, is this?
Okay.
Oh, go ahead.
You can do this, so we've already touched on this admittedly.
Yeah,
It's just reiteration, basically.
yeah. So again, with audio, you don't want to distract the casting director or whoever is listening to your lines away from your delivery and your acting. So things that can take people out are unpleasant noises like yeah, lip smacking, or mouth clicks, um, creaks. If you hear a dog barking in the background, if you hear birds chirping, if you hear a fridge running, yeah, those are things that you do need to pay attention to. Um, and that's just part of putting your best foot forward on it. Fan blowing, yeah, as hot as okay, I will say, as hot as it gets under a blanket fort, it would behoove you to turn off your fans, because that can be picked up in especially with stronger mics. Train at a distance, unfortunately, yeah, you can't prevent a train, but you can also uh,
Dog
take
barking. That's too.
yeah, take take the. This is part of not rushing. Like you have the time, especially if you start early, to wait for the train to go away or the dog to stop barking. Um, yeah, and with that also, what could benefit it for what could help you with these things, is a pop filter for sure, and not eating your mic.
Okay.
And for
Yes.
lip
Please don't eat
smacking,
your mic.
stay hydrated. I think
Please
that's
don't eat your mic.
don't eat your mic.
They're not edible.
No, they're not. They don't taste
Okay.
very good. Have I tried it? We'll just move on.
Next question.
Tip 3, research, which I kind of talked about. When you submit, you're showing you're a voice actor. Showcase what you know of voice acting, especially in the acting part.
Okay, I'm gonna be a bit of a stickler for this because, like, admittedly, I find it really, really funny that, well, not funny, but it's more like it's so interesting to me that voice acting has many meanings depending on the people. But it's also because, like, there's many different types of voice acting, and and actually, Jemmy, can you
Hmm?
probably click the next one as well because
Oh
they're
yeah.
kind of tied together for what I'm about to say.
Yep.
Okay, there you go. These are tied together
Mm.
because like not all types of acting kind of apply everywhere. Find out what works where you're auditioning and applying it. The reason why is even among voice acting, like you like okay, so there's voiceover, right? And then you actually have the things where you're doing commercial voiceover, you're doing radio, you're doing other things like that. And they all sound different. Okay? So you're meant to adapt a different tone, you're meant to do a different thing. So they sound different for a reason because they're meant to be it's a different kind of voice and pronunciation and cadence and everything like that for a different kind of use. Voice acting is the same thing because they're even against voice acting, like voice acting is not like commercial voiceover, but even then voice acting has different kinds because an anime does not sound like a game, does not sound like um
Mm-hmm.
an audio drama, you know? So you gotta understand the differences between the media and then please see what works for what the work and what the work is looking for. Because if you're going anime voice acting, then anime and cartoons actually, then the exaggerated anime and cartoony tone with the whole um and being that punchy and being really animated basically
Mm-hmm.
works out there. But if you're in video games, that might be a different thing unless you're in an anime video game.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're like example, you would not hear the same level of voice acting that you would hear from most anime English anime dubs in the Souls games.
Yep.
So that's a different thing altogether. And you have to be able to adjust depending on the voice acting that is required in that media. Because if you're used, remember what I mentioned, if you're used to one thing, you may not realize that you're actually doing that thing that you're so used to subconsciously.
Yeah.
So be very, very careful of being used to something like ASMR whispers or or if you're used to impressions or if you're used to impersonating cartoons or if you're used to anime dub voice acting, that's a different thing altogether.
Mm-hmm. Context
And
matters.
yes, and transparently I had to work out a lot of the things in direction through Telltale as well from the voice actors who started working with me. And I had to actually undo some of the learning that they did from that anime voice acting. And they have become better for it. Not in that they can't do it anymore, but it's just another option that they have under their belt. You
Mm-hmm.
don't need to remove it completely, but you can turn it on and off depending on that, depending when you need it. And that's just going to help you even more because that's another skill.
Mm.
Okay?
Hi, my name is
So,
Jemmy
yeah.
Roca, and I'm a recovering anime tone only voice actor.
You're fine. You're great now, and you're doing great as Anna.
Mm.
Okay. So yes. So yes, in that vein. So just be very, very careful with the kind of acting and emphasis on acting because I really because here's the thing. Some people are not even acting in their takes sometimes with how new that they are. But voice acting, and I will make this very clear, voice acting is not just talking, it is still acting. You still have to make me convinced that you are not you, you are another person. It is not an easy, it's actually not as easy as people might think sometimes because even Jemmy can attest that
Mm-hmm.
there are some times when it can get really tough, especially with consistency of being basically living as another person.
Yep.
So yeah. So basically that. You want to add anything else, Jemmy?
Mm. No, I think you covered everything.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. All right. There we go. Next one then.
Be aware of the kind of role you're playing. If you're a main character, act like one. If you're an extra, act like one.
Okay, the reason why is because there are actually have been a lot of people that if I mentioned that there are some people that didn't really act before, because they were just talking and showcasing themselves, thinking that was voice acting. There's also the opposite problem, where I did touch on this and mention it a little bit, where some people overacted quite a bit, acting like a main character when we are casting extras.
Mm-hmm.
There is a time and a place for it, and this was not the time or place. We didn't real then some of it will actually like unfortunately kind of kill the audition for this case, at least for us, because um this is not meant like this is a learning opportunity and it is meant to be somebody's way in, but that doesn't mean that you have to give your all and act like you are going to be the main character for this. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's an FYI for that. Okay.
Focus on doing the best you can in your performance. Requirements will vary, but for YMO and Telltale, acting skill goes farther than a wide voice range. A wide range definitely helps in landing more roles with us, but acting skill goes much further, pretty much everywhere.
Yeah, I think that this is. I don't know if I can actually speak for everyone that's actually going to cast,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm pretty sure that like a lot of people will care about how much you can act and convince them of your acting ability.
Mm-hmm.
But some places will actually need more variety in your voices more than others. So I'm not going to speak for them and presume, all I'll say here is that it doesn't matter if you can do one voice or 10. So long as you can act, that's actually the biggest thing for me. 10 will at least get you more extra, well, like extra roles, main character roles and whatever like that, because at least it probably shortens the time that that you need to develop new voices to actually make to so that you can join other productions, because like there are some cases right now where some Telltale voices kind of want to join other productions, but or like fill other roles, but I have to tell them, okay, can you not sound like who you've already used? And then this is going to be an interesting thing to see what they can do.
mm-hmm.
So that's mostly the use of, if you want more roles, you have more varying voices. But even if you only have one voice, so long as you can perform really well, you can still carry it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I say this because there have been a few people through the audition that have tried to showcase their voice range. However, um, what carries it more is acting, and sometimes it is more noticeable and more risky, actually, to change your voice if you can't maintain it. And there are times um, when people use a specific voice and then they drop it down the line subconsciously,
Me.
and I can hear it because they're more focused on their performance, but I can hear them dropping it because they can't maintain it.
Mm-hmm.
So watch out for that. All right. So if you have a hard time maintaining a voice naturally, maybe flex it later, or maybe develop it first to the point that you could casually converse in it and then afterwards use it. But if you can't, rely on your acting skill more than the number of voices you can do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Okay.
Actually, that
Okay.
reminded me of one thing that I watched before. So
Mm-hmm.
Joe Zija, English VA, he did the voice of
Mm-hmm.
like Claude from Fire Emblem Three Houses. He
Mm-hmm.
has a short, no, he has a video where he's doing like voice acting, and
Mm-hmm.
he made up a voice that was it sounds really hard to maintain. It's very gravelly, and he was just like, "Well, we probably only need to do this like maybe once." Then the character ended up coming back multiple times, and he had to keep doing this voice, and he was like, "I regret this. Why did I do this way?" So just keep that in mind. Like it definitely, if you're going to present a voice and you're, um, I mean, don't assume that you're only going to do this once. Assume that you're going to have to keep doing this over and over again. Um, which is
Yeah.
yeah, which honestly, well, I mean, like Anna is easier now to maintain, but in the beginning, do you know how many times I had to reset and be like, "Hi, I'm Anna," and keep it up there, like, which is fine, but you'll get there eventually. But it's a matter of practicing. And can I actually? put something out there too on a perspective for acting that might help
Yeah,
people.
sure.
So, when you're a voice actor or any kind of actor, right? Your job is not to shine. I mean, you will shine eventually when you get there. But your job as the actor is to help the audience be immersed in the scene. Like you are not trying to be you're not trying to impress them. You're trying to draw them into the scene of what is happening. That doesn't mean you're going to stand out and that's okay. That's what your primary focus should be when you're acting, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really just another said another way. It's legitimately you're drawing people into the story that is trying to be told.
Mhm.
And honestly, the more you stand out in a bad way, it means that people are more focused on you and not the story,
Mhm.
which means that you might not be doing your job as
Yeah.
a voice actor because you're then you more than the character.
Yeah.
So the more that you draw people into the story, the more that you are doing an amazing job in what you're doing.
Mhm.
So yeah.
You're
Yeah,
enhancing the
basically.
visuals if you're dubbing or something.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And you're actually, and like that's why a lot of people sometimes can't actually distinguish certain characters from their voice actors at that point because they see how well the person brought them to life. It's not because they themselves
The star.
were the draw.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's the character.
Mhm.
So yeah, make me believe the character's alive. Then make the audience believe the character's alive.
Mhm.
Then you're doing a fantastic job.
Mhm. Okay. Learning goes both
Okay.
ways. So what did we learn? We learned a lot.
Okay. Yeah. Though these are the main three, I think,
Mhm.
honestly. Okay. Add specific formats for sampling, for samples in casting calls. I'll just speed through this because it's more on the technical side, if you don't mind.
Mhm.
Okay. And I feel like the people are probably, I don't know how many questions people might have, but yes, we will have questions after this.
Yes.
So this is more because we found out that okay, the reason why we didn't why personally I didn't actually specify main the things is because I wanted to know what people didn't know. And
Mhm.
oh boy, did people not know a lot. Okay.
This is a whole learning process for everybody involved.
Yes,
Mhm.
exactly. Which is why this is what this is what we basically learned for like casting calls down the line of we will be more specific in these things. It might be more intimidating and it might involve more reading, but
the
but
horror.
but it'll only be good for people to know and have those guidelines, especially if you're new. So it'll be now the like .wav .mp3 one take ABC format, meaning like they should be back to back in the same like sequence.
Mhm.
For extras, we're only doing one take because most of the lines are mostly like not inconsequential, but like the lines um like we are going to be like they're how do I say this? They're less of a highlight. So in that vein, we only need to be sure of how you do with one take, what and for judgment calls. But for main characters and supporting cast, we'll need two takes because we want variety.
Yep.
And we want to know what you can really do. You have more leeway than to actually like showcase your skill. And fun fact by the way, the best thing you can do with times when you have two takes, and this is probably just like another important tip, you have to vary up your takes.
Yes.
Not using different voices by the way, but different ways of delivery.
Mhm.
Not minute changes by the way. Like don't make it like you put the emphasis on this word and then put the emphasis on this word. No, I really mean change up your acting style. Or you can add more creativity to it. Add an ad lib here or there depending. Like they just have to be different.
Yep.
Because if I'm hearing the same two takes back to back, all I'm seeing is you are chasing the perfect take and praying that one of them made it. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for what more can you give me? What other deliveries can you do?
Have
You
fun with it.
gotta show me more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, have fun with it.
Mm-hmm. Play around with it a
Like,
bit.
yeah, yeah. Like, imagine that the scene is going differently and then you have to react to it. So yeah, you gotta give me more.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll do Google Forms again and get files uploaded into people's drives, please.
Oh.
Okay. Okay. Then emphasize requirements, especially if it's very necessary. Like
Mm.
how you're looking for more natural sounding voice acting over anime dub, because I feel like that by putting that only once, I feel that we didn't actually that I
Got
did not
missed.
actually give yeah, it got missed. So I'm gonna give people more of a fair shot
Mm-hmm.
by emphasizing that again. Okay. Lastly, oh wait, there's one more after this. Okay.
Oh.
Clarify phrasing in our instructions, especially if it's another casting call for newbies. Be sure that everyone gets a fair shot. What do I mean by this? I need to make sure that if I mention something specifically, I have to make it very, very, very clear in the instructions. Like if it's a raw videos or whatever, or if it's raw, or if it's audio file, not video, because because of course it's the VTuber scene and people are used to like auditions on freaking corpos and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
obviously people are going to do videos in some cases when we are an audio drama. So it's understandable. I let that slide. But yeah, I'm going to clarify a lot more
Yeah, we're
instructions
gonna
down the
specify a
line
lot
so
more.
that yes, exactly. Okay. And lastly,
Oh, am I reading it?
I love this one.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah. This isn't like I love this because only because I really love this one.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much amazing undiscovered talent out there, and we're very encouraged to do this again, legitimately.
Absolutely.
It's so nice to actually be able to, just see the potential that's out there.
Yeah.
And I really, really want to work with quite a few of you.
We
I
got
hope
really
that I
excited
can.
listening to some of these takes. Like,
Oh
whoa,
yeah! My
where did
God!
you come from?
Like, I want to work with you. Can I please work with you? Dang! I want to work with you.
Mm-hmm.
My gosh. Okay, so there have been quite a few. So I can't wait for this actually. I
Yeah.
can't wait to see what the audition brings.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
So, okay.
Questions?
So, now is the question part. So, if anyone has questions.
Please put them both in both chats. Our uh fellow Telltale members will gather questions. Actually, we got a few. How many apps did you get?
Hold on. Let me see. Um, let me see. I have the list up.
I think it was.
The
Wait, can I
final
can I
count
guess real
was
quick?
sure.
174?
Yeah, that was actually spot on.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah. So
174
we got
applicants.
174.
Most of them did all 5 takes. So that's a lot of audio to listen
Yes.
to.
It was so much audio.
But
Oh my god.
we were excited that you
Like,
guys were excited about this.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
honestly. And mind you, this would have probably exploded more if we actually allowed voice actors
Like
to join in.
professionals, yeah.
Yeah. But because we limited it to the VTuber community, because of the nature of the work, it actually greatly slimmed it down.
Mm-hmm.
Average or overacting to be beneficial. Okay.
Hmm.
So, okay. Interesting question of the ratio of overacting. What is the average of overacting to be beneficial? Okay. This is mileage may vary if I'm honest because how do I say this? Overacting only works in specific cases. And what I said before where you have to understand which work it actually works in. Overacting can work in theater because
Mm-hmm.
you need to be bombastic. Overacting can work in anime and ADR or
Shonen!
cartoons.
Yeah.
Yeah, shonen, shoujo, anything that actually has like that really punchy side of it. Uh Audio dramas depends because in my case I will not look for it as much, except if honestly it's a parody work.
Mm-hmm.
So you're actually better off with leaning more natural acting, unless it's like the only times that I would probably do it is like I said, parody work or maybe death sequences
Yeah.
even. But even then, it's like mileage may vary. So it really just depends. And the reason why we're actually really comfortable with sharing all of this information too is because even if I tell you guys how to do this, I can't even say if this is going to be, if there's a formula for this, because it's always going to depend on the work that we make. So mileage will definitely vary there.
Yeah.
So the only thing I can really say is do your best for whatever that is.
Yeah. Also, can I throw my 2 cents?
Yeah,
Um,
go ahead, go ahead.
so this was also said a different way from a professional voice actor when he was asking, like, are you looking for anime tone or movie tone? And I was like, ooh, movie tone is a great way to look at this. So that's something. So you have a reference instead of just natural.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Because like natural can be so hard to actually say because some people also speak more animated.
Yep.
But if you think of it like game tone, movie tone, whatever you actually want to go with that direction, so long as it's in that vein, whatever reference you actually want to have, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Okay.
Yep.
When do the first round of notes go out? Okay, that's gonna be probably this weekend,
Mm-hmm.
is what I can actually probably expect. So just know that most of that is actually going to come from me. And I'm going to respond with both acceptances and rejections because I would like to give constructive feedback for what people did well and what people could improve on.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's why I said that like this one is not going to be individual feedback because we don't want to put anyone on the spot. But I will give you a bit of time so that you can actually know what you can improve on for next audition. Some of them are going to be really simple. Some of them are going to be more complex. So, but I'm just going to try and give the best feedback that I can possibly do in the moment while keeping it constructive. Okay?
mm-hmm.
I can't do a back and forth conversation though because again, because prefacing I am not a coach, so I can't give that.
Right.
So yeah. Okay. All right.
Mm,
What was the relative split in F versus M entries?
well,
Admittedly, I wasn't keeping track.
yeah.
But
But we
if
do see a skew. We just don't have exact
I think
numbers.
yeah, we don't. It's more really that the skew was definitely more female for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that might also just be the population of the VTuber community in general, which
Yeah.
is really funny because like we've also been struggling in Telltale to get more male VAs anyway, so
Yeah.
it's like uh okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, okay.
Any
Anyone
more?
else have anyone? Any other questions? Any way we can help you guys? Also,
Oh, do we want to talk
yeah,
about the
I hope
next
that
step too?
actually next step.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the next step after you guys actually have the um after you get the acceptance and or rejection, the people who are going to get acceptances will actually have the prep time to prepare for the live audition. I think it's going to be tentatively on January 10th or 11th,
Mm-hmm.
but we will see first depending. Um
It might
yeah,
change depending on
it might
life.
change,
Yeah.
yes.
We'll keep
Yes.
you updated
But
though.
in yes, yes, because life has been lifing for all of us recently, actually. So
Mm-hmm.
we will stay flexible in this case, but we will actually give ample time to prepare for the next round, and we are going to inform people when they actually make it to the next round. In that vein.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How are you ready for
We're
do?
doing demos.
What do you mean? How are you ready for doing demos? I'm sorry, I don't know.
Like, do we do demos? I don't know.
Is it do we do demos or do we accept demos? Or which one? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either. Hell, you know. Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm. Well, while
Okay.
they're getting an answer for that, when EP3?
Okay.
Well, once we all stop being sick,
Oh.
maybe.
Yeah, so there's some recording delay mainly because people are sick. So that's fine. We have some production delays will happen. But it's already written. We're getting ready to record.
Hmm.
And we've already had the table read, so people already know what it's going to sound like in general, and we have a recording to look back on. So after that, we will progress through it. Okay, how does one know if they're ready to do demos?
Oh.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. Honestly, honestly, it depends on the kind of demo
Yeah.
because honestly speaking, if you want to do a starter demo or like a beginner demo where you do lines and whatever like that just to show that you have a demo reel and just to showcase your skill, you can do you can do that with like free lines and everything. But a professional demo is a different case altogether because you need time, energy, and probably to spend resources on it so that you can actually because a demo is basically the equivalent of a voice actor's resume
Yep.
where you having a paper resume is great but your main resume really is the demo reel. So when you think that you actually have the skill to be able to pull off a pro demo reel, then cool, but I would actually say get some experience first under your belt, but you can make a starter demo already to show what you can do right now. Just don't sink in too much money for it,
Yeah.
especially when you're still starting out. So get some lines, read them, showcase your best voices, and then afterwards like have somebody like edit and have somebody audio like edit it for you, but know what your strengths are,
Hmm.
okay? Because you don't want to put something on your demo that you are not able to do more than once.
Yeah.
Okay? Like if it's a party trick kind of voice, you can do it for like two sentences and then your voice starts to break. Don't do it.
Hmm.
Don't do it at all.
And focus on the acting and the emoting, as opposed to just the vocal range. I feel like.
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Also,
Oh
put
my
your
gosh.
best take in the beginning because you want to wow them from the beginning. Because if it's like,
Yeah, whatever your specialty is, put it in the beginning.
mm-hmm. Because if they don't like what you're doing in the first 5 seconds, they're just gonna turn it off.
Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes,
If they are not
if they're not
impressed,
nice.
then yeah.
Yeah.
In our case, like I listen through the whole thing because like I don't know what you're capable of and it gives me a full idea of your range, but um keep it short, sweet, simple.
Yep.
Like do not give me here's like I just realized that I didn't actually touch on this.
Oh.
If you're giving me clips and samples of your voice acting, don't give me 5 hours worth of a video where I am unsure what's going on. Oh, did I lose a Jemmy?
My VTube studio crashed.
Oh, there you
I'm
go.
here though.
Okay, there you go.
Mm, I'm coming back.
Okay. Yay.
Yay.
But there. Uh, don't give don't give like why are you
Don't worry
bouncing?
about it. I'm fixing it. I don't know
Don't worry
why.
about it. Okay. So just don't give like okay, if you're giving voice acting clips, please highlight where your voice acting actually is. Because I have actually had people give me clips, but I had to guess who the person was because somebody gave me like sorry, there were a few people who gave me multiple things, but then I'm like, are you this person? Are you this person? Are you this person? Hold on here, which are you? If I have to guess, that's not a good look. It's like how do I say this? It's like that weird phenomenon of if you're on a dating app but you put two people on your profile.
Which one are
Which one
you?
are you? So, not the best look for people to have to play Russian roulette, I guess. You don't want to put a guessing game, please.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Any other questions and or concerns and or anything? So, yeah.
Mm.
Cuz guys, this is your chance to actually how about finding the right agency? That one I can't
Mm-hmm.
speak on because like we're a production studio. So and I don't work right now with agency voice actors
Mm-hmm.
at the moment because I'm highlighting like collaborating more with independent VTubers. So I can't really speak about that.
Yeah, it's a good question though.
Yeah, good question, but I don't think that this is the place to actually ask. It's more on I would like we can help you more on production, casting calls. If you ever have any like burning questions on like what people might be looking for and what people might be watching out for, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And so if we can help you there and then nailing your casting call or your audition, then well, this is a chance to actually take because like in this case as well, you might not get the chance to actually speak to a casting director and like the producer of a work very often. So might as well actually get whatever you information you want to, and no question is too basic.
Yeah.
That's why we're emphasizing the fact that it's for more for learning because like you want to be sure that people take the opportunity while they can, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because there will be more chances for the people who pass, but some other people, well, I just say take advantage of it if you can.
Yeah. Use all the resources you could get. Research everything.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Study.
yeah. Because I'm not a coach, so I can't do anything one on one. This is also, and I don't go on stream. So,
Except for
yes.
here. Woo!
Except for here somehow.
I will say it is a
Whoa.
treat whenever Created comes on stream because she always has a lot of good insight. Take advantage.
Dang,
Yeah.
dang.
Yeah.
Now I feel
Yeah. Are you
pressured.
nervous?
Okay.
I see you sweating over there.
I am. I sweating. It's my perpetual state of being. All right. Okay.
Okay.
My bad.
But if that's it, then
Things crashed from nervousness.
yeah.
Whoa.
And then I
Okay.
left the room and she got even more nervous.
Yes.
But she handled it great. But yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yes. I'm alive. Okay. Anyway,
Yeah. So if
anything
that's
else?
I it doesn't seem like it. But I hope
Doesn't
you
seem
guys
like
got a
it.
lot of insight, learned a lot, took some notes from this stream, and that you have me. I don't know. Maybe there's ways that you now you know how you could improve your auditions or what to look out for. Um, yeah, we're excited to work with some of you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll get the notifications, the emails, the I don't know, Discord messages question mark. The
The what?
Twitter
Oh yeah.
Discord messages, Twitter, whatever you actually chose as like preferred means of contact. We'll
Make sure your
probably actually
DMs are
contact
open.
you through there. Please make sure your DMs are open. It would be so awkward. Okay.
Yeah. But good luck to
Okay.
everybody out there. Again, hope you guys learned a lot and get out there,
Oh,
do auditions. Did you
hold
get
on.
any movie acting?
Yes, we did,
Yes, we did.
actually.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people actually were able to pull that off. So yes,
Mm-hmm.
honestly. So it was really encouraging to see that that won the most, but only because I also have a bias towards like more immersive, natural leaning acting because of what I'm gonna do, and because I actually write a lot more serious work as well. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I guess that this is just a teaser then that there are going to be quite a few projects down the line that I hope people will be able to join. Some of them will highlight the VTuber community still again.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say that I think that this is going to be highlighting a different kind of acting. So I hope that people are prepared for how I guess that this is the best way to put it. Intense it's going to be.
Yeah.
Enjoy. Okay.
It's gonna be great. So look forward to
Yeah,
it.
I hope you guys are
Repaired?
prepared.
Are they broken?
Prepared. What's wrong with me?
We've been
I'm
talking for two
broken, maybe?
hours.
I don't know. Okay.
But yeah.
Okay, more like okay. I hope that you guys are going to be more prepared then for like this is why I say variety of acting. Just if there are some people, how about script writing? Allowing people to help out with that.
Hmm.
I have one project in the future that will allow for that. But for Telltale Productions, unfortunately not yet. It will be down the line. Because in my case, the reason why Telltale is actually a thing to begin with, like, not gonna lie, I'm more a writer than I am a director. So writing is actually my main passion. And I'm like I really, 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 really like writing. So in that vein, if there's a room for a co-writer yet, I don't think so for at least my projects. But I might look for other people who might want to make their works come true down the line. And and again, another super secret, super special project down the line that will involve, I guess that this is as far as I can say,
Yeah, don't spoil the surprise.
collaboration between voice actors and writers, hopefully.
Ah, yeah.
So yes,
Mm-hmm.
I have big plans, very big
I'm super
plans.
excited for
Okay,
them.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
same. Okay, all
Yeah.
right.
All
Anything
right.
else? Last question? Last
Last
call?
questions.
Nothing?
You got 10 seconds. 10, 9,
Oh,
8,
dang,
7,
dang, the countdown,
6,
not the countdown.
5,
Oh no,
4,
oh no,
3,
oh no. Okay,
2, 1. Okay.
okay. Nah, we're good then.
But thank you guys for all of you that did submit auditions. Congratulations on having the courage to go ahead and do that and for trying out. Yeah,
Yeah.
we are so excited that all of you guys are super excited to start your dreams of voice acting if that's what you want to do. Um, whether or not you make it
Mm-hmm.
past this first one, don't give up because all of you have potential. You just gotta,
Yeah.
there's a lot to work with. Um, but we're
Yeah.
so excited to see you guys. We were excited to listen to you guys. You guys, yeah, take the tips and keep going. Put your best foot forward. You got this.
Yeah.
Yay!
Happy auditioning, and hopefully we can. And for those who will pass, hopefully we'll see you soon.
Yay!
Ah,
Yeah!
so excited. Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
Yep. All right. Well, we'll see you guys
Okay.
later. I don't know when that later is, but you'll be hearing if you auditioned, you'll be hearing from us soon. So we'll see you guys.
Okay.
Bye
See you.
bye.
Bye.